Access to finance is a key issue for small businesses in Northern Ireland, as well as branch availability within the banks. What's your sense around the recent announcement on RBS?
Well, I think it was a welcome relief to have clarity and certainty around the position of Ulster Bank in this market here. It's something that Northern Ireland MPs have been voicing at different levels, including myself, and I was on the bill committee for both the Financial Services Bill and the Banking Reform Bill. I kept raising issues about the discrete Northern Ireland market and the pressure that is there, both for personal customers and, very importantly, for business customers as well. Treasury ministers kept saying yes, they were getting the message and that there wouldn't be anything rash done in relation to the position of the Ulster Bank. They hoped, and at least now we have some certainty around that. But that shouldn't then tell us, oh, that's the end of story, problem solved. Of course, it's what the banks do, it's how the banks perform, and that's why the current inquiry by the Select Committee at Westminster, which is something that I had encouraged, is so important as well. But then we also need to tell the government that it's not just what the banks do, it's also what government does. It's how the taxman treats businesses, not just the rules and the laws that are set down by Parliament, but also how they're enforced and interpreted by the taxman as well. And we are hearing some stories from local businesses whereby they think they're not being treated that fairly. They're not getting the level of understanding from the taxman that they thought they were getting before.
TSB has been broken out of the Lloyds Group recently, but it's only operating across GB. There's been some suggestion that it might acquire the First Trust branches in Northern Ireland so as it could have a full UK offering. What would be your response to that?
Well, I think we should be looking at a positive idea like that, because the fact is the banking market here is reshaping, but it's not reshaping in a particularly competitive way, and we want to make sure that there is greater offer there. We also want to make sure that there is readier access as well, so that people know that they have that choice and convenience in terms of banking, both again for personal customers and for business customers. And so if a way of retaining at least a level of the banking profile in Northern Ireland is changing the ownership in that sort of way so that there is that extra brand reach, then that would be a bonus for our market here.
Finally, another issue which is still retained at Westminster is the issue of corporation tax. The Prime Minister said that he's expecting to make a decision immediately after the Scottish referendum. Are you aware of a sense of continuing pressure being brought to bear to keep that process moving forward?
I think it is there. I think we will see moves in relation to corporation tax for both Scotland and Northern Ireland. The time scale that will be involved in those, of course, we have to wait to see. But it is also the case, and I think we need to be alert to this, that once you have a Tory government committing to corporation tax changes in Scotland and Northern Ireland, that is so that they can go into the election promising corporation tax cuts in the UK as a whole. So it is about positioning. It's about them being in a position then to be able to have a manifesto for the next election that makes a bigger commitment in relation to further reducing corporation tax as they have done in this Parliament, and basically trapping the Labour Party in a position where it would be hard for them to oppose it if they've supported it for Northern Ireland and Scotland.